Welcome to the Riverwalk. I'm Kim Russo with America's Great Loop Cruisers Association, and this is Great Loop Lifestyles in Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale was our third stop on our Great Loop adventure. We were there for probably only about 36 hours, so it was a pretty quick trip, but we stayed at Cooley's Landing Marina. It is a city-run facility and very reasonable, therefore. It was about $1.50, I believe, a foot plus electric. So there is a view from the marina at night of some of the skyline there of Fort Lauderdale. The marina also had a really wonderful laundry facility and bathhouse. The showers and everything in the bathhouse was nice and clean, but check out this laundry facility. After having been at a marina for a couple of weeks with no laundry, you've got, I think it was 6 washers, 4 dryers, and look at all of that folding space. That is kind of the dream laundry room so far on the Great Loop, so thanks to Cooley's Landing for having that. They also had a nice workspace in there, so really a nice laundry space. Continuing on, the marina is right along the Riverwalk, which is one of the major attractions in Fort Lauderdale. So you can walk all the way from the marina for probably a couple of miles all the way along the New River. Lots of activity happening along the Riverwalk. We came upon a crafts fair on Sunday morning and a couple of unusual things I'm going to share at the end, but always people walking dogs and jogging and beautiful boats along the walkway there. So we just really enjoyed and spent most of our time just kind of walking along the Riverwalk and enjoying the sights and sounds of Fort Lauderdale. Restaurants on both sides of the Riverwalk here, although most of the things to do are on the same side as Cooley's Landing, so we didn't have to cross the bridge too often, but that's a beautiful view of crossing the bridge. And one of the little cafes along the waterfront there. It's also beautiful to walk the Riverwalk at night, and this is a theater that's along the Riverwalk that just has some beautiful lighting between the palm trees, and the way they light these steps at night makes for a really spectacular view along the Riverwalk. There are also kayak tours at night with kayaks that are lit below the waterline, and just really a beautiful place. If the weather's nice and it's not too cold, it's a great place to walk around at night. Very close to the Riverwalk is Las Olas, and that's another place that we spent a good bit of time. There are tons of shops and restaurants along this mile or two stretch of Las Olas that basically runs from the heart of Fort Lauderdale down towards the beach. So this is a view of some of the shops and restaurants. This is how Las Olas always was every time we walked up there. Pretty busy, lots of pedestrians, lots of car traffic, especially at night. We also found that many of the restaurants for dinner had very long waits if you did not have reservations, which we did not. As most loopers, we kind of didn't know what we had planned or what was in store for us when we got there, so we just kind of did what we found as we went along. But we did find lots of ice cream, which is kind of my quest, is to find the best ice cream on the Great Loop. I've got some tips on that. And we didn't find any restaurants that we found to be particularly spectacular. So we're not making any restaurant recommendations, but you will not go hungry. We probably just chose based on the shortest wait time since we didn't have reservations, which probably explains a lot. The food was good, but again, just nothing that we would rave about. So just check out Las Olas, walk around. You'll certainly find something to eat. A couple of other things that we wish we had had the time for. We spent most of our 36 or so hours in Fort Lauderdale catching up on work. So again, that working and looping thing, it works, but there may be some times that you wish you had a little bit more time in your day to accomplish everything. But one thing that I would have liked to have done that I'm not going to go into detail on because I didn't get to do it was the Fort Lauderdale Historical Society has kind of a museum campus right there along the Riverwalk with a few different buildings. One used to be an inn. I believe one used to be a schoolhouse. Check that out. And also right by the marina, there is a science center and IMAX. So for you science geeks like me, great stop along the way too. This is the Publix, the blue here along 6th Street. So it is across the river about a mile walk. We did it one day and carried the groceries back, and it was really not a problem. But, of course, an Uber right away is also fine. A couple other things I really want to share that are just, I think maybe I need to start a series on random things you stumble across on the Great Loop. So the day we arrived was the Saturday before St. Patrick's Day. So there had been a big street festival in some of the parks along the Riverwalk. Apparently we had just missed a marathon or a 5K. Wouldn't have mattered. I probably would not have run either of those. But there were still some activities going on that evening when we were strolling along and headed for dinner. So some random things that we happened upon that evening include a camel, a random dance-off there in one of the gazebos on the Riverwalk, and also very randomly a U2 concert. And this was not actually U2, it's a U2 tribute band that was playing as part of the St. Patrick's Day festivities. But I'm a big U2 fan, and the cover band was really good. So we stood there for probably an hour and enjoyed the concert, which was something that was completely unexpected and completely enjoyable. So this was our third stop at Fort Lauderdale. We'll be back soon with another stop. Don't forget to check out the cruising information on our trip into and back out of Fort Lauderdale, because there's some great footage and great information about cruising the new river up into the heart of Fort Lauderdale, which is where we stayed, and is really just slightly off the Great Loop route. It's a couple miles up to get to the Marina. Well worth the trip, so check those out. Thanks for watching.